Hello and welcome to the Manu Ginobili episode of the Hoop Theory podcast, aka episode 57. My name is Logan Wertman, and as usual, I'm joined by my arboreal co-host, Jacob Roth. Jacob, how does it feel to be on the Manu Ginobili episode?
Pretty good. All-time role player. Could have been more probably.
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting question. If he's on any other team, is he just a top 15 shooting guard of all time?
I honestly think if you could prime Manu, you could build a playoff caliber team around him as the number one option. I do believe that, honestly.
Yeah. But anyway,
who's that good?
No, he was the truth, and this is draft pick, obviously, so he did not wear.
Yes, draft pick. The greatest draft pick 57 of all time. And this is also funny that we have probably the two, or at least two of the very best Argentinian basketball players of all time, back-to-back episodes. We had Luis Scola last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have Manu. Also, the reason why I hesitated on my adjective for you is because I thought I had updated my notes, because I just copied my notes from last episode and make the subtle changes.
Mm-hmm.
I
still
thought I
said
had
vindicated.
It still said vindicated, and I paused and I was quick trying to think of an adjective, and I remembered the one you said the other episode when I said avian, so I just said that one.
There we go. Time for the board to roll in clutch.
Yeah. But, so starting off, Jacob, you said you had something to bring up at the top?
I think we could do city editions every other year. I don't think that we need
Instead of every year?
Yeah, because I don't know if you saw the leak of Chicago's city edition.
I did see those.
Okay. The Mavericks one is low-key pretty good. I like the Mavericks.
I don't hate it, yeah.
But I feel like as more teams kind of start grinding them out, every team has had a questionable city edition, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just make it every other year. Minnesota is a lake-inspired look for theirs this year. It's pretty good. It's white fades into the blue, and it's got white. It's pretty good. Oh,
that one. Okay. The Axe spray can one the one that I've called an Axe spray can. Okay, yeah. Axe body spray.
But I just feel because this, and this man will come up later in today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a great Celtics one. It's fine.
Oh, you don't like that one?
It's okay. The back is more what I don't want to stand up.
Oh, where the name's on the bottom?
It's a big white block.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I like some of them, they did the banner font.
I like
Celtics jerseys. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at my closet, I liked the one that had gold accents. The cursive, I have the all black. I don't even know if that was a city edition technically, but I just feel like we could do it every other year. And I don't think it would, or make it go East gets new ones in the evens, and then West gets them in the odds.
Be a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Or just do some way to kind of mix it up, because this is not a good anything from Chicago.
It's such a
vertical
nothing.
Lettering on sports jerseys is illegal.
Unless there's a very few ways you can do it. I think the Thunder's one is okay because it's OKC vertical, where it's the city from last year.
But it's still a weaker one. It's still not great.
Yeah, it's not awesome. But so I'm just saying, I don't know if I would say it's illegal, but there's nothing redeeming about that Chicago jersey. There's nothing
I like the font they used. I like how they did if the city of Chicago has a font, it's that font.
Okay.
So I like that, I guess. But
it looked very cheap, honestly. And I guess
there's a big part, the whole thing is there's something in the bottom. I can't even remember what it says. It's hold on, let me find it to see. Madhouse on Madison is in this big font on the bottom left.
Is that a nickname of the arena maybe or something? United Center?
It's the
I don't know where. I know I've been to United Center before, but I don't remember what street it's on.
The font is from Chicago Stadium, which was their home from 1967 to 1994.
Okay.
And its nickname was the Madhouse on Madison.
Okay, so it's their older arena.
The off-center numbers try to bring mind to the Bulls' home and road uniforms from the 73 to 85 and are carried over from their 17 to 20 and 2021 City Edition sets. Asymmetrical stripes on the right side. Anyway, I just don't love them. And I feel like it'd be okay if we did them every other year. And just give Nike a little bit more time to work in the labs.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty problem people started having, and Assassin's Creed learned from it.
Give them 2 years. Let them cook a little longer.
Uh-huh.
Because, that's a cool base. But, maybe work on it a little more, and it would be better. I don't know. I just found that as a quick little thing that maybe we just don't do it every year.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly. I think we have gotten a little carried away with the jerseys. Especially since the ones that are good, they don't stick around long because we keep just bringing in new ones. Like there's some that I've loved that the Nuggets have had the last couple of years, like the black rainbows and the white, the bomb pop colored ones, like the really bright blue and red. I like those ones, but we don't wear them at all anymore. We wore them for one season and now they're done. Like, I don't like that, but
yeah. And that would give good jerseys an extra year to run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's everybody goes and buys the City Edition. Like I wait to buy, cause I try to buy an NBA jersey of cause I had until 4 hours ago, the whole Celtics starting lineup minus KP, and he was going to be my jersey that I was going to get this year.
Yeah.
And I was going to see what the Celtics City Edition was going to be. And I always look at that one first before I go a different road, But now, speaking of that, what happened 4 hours ago, Logan? Enlighten the people. We're recording this on the 1st of October.
Yes. So Jrue Holiday has been traded once again to Jacob's team, the Boston Celtics. And this is a sad and happy day. A little bit, maybe more sad than happy for you, would you say?
On court, it's all I am ecstatic. I am through the moon because Milwaukee's we're going to get better. And then Boston was we're going to build an anti-U team. Double bird.
Yeah.
Because Boston has always been a team that was built to handle a Milwaukee. They were always comfortable dealing with Milwaukee because they had a couple pieces they could throw at Giannis when Chris Middleton was healthy. Jason Tatum did his best, and then Jrue was a Marcus Smart. There was a lot of things that Boston could do to handle Milwaukee. Didn't always work when Chris Middleton was I am Michael Jordan. That didn't work then, but now they went and got Dame, and so let's just go get. We don't have Marcus Smart anymore. Let's go get the guy that's literally the only maybe even better than Marcus Smart at dealing with Damian Lillard.
Yeah, so he's the only guy we've seen completely shut down or neutralize Damian Lillard for entire playoff series. So before in the Portland and New Orleans playoff series in 2018, I want to say, where Portland was favored going to that series
aggressively
3-6 matchup, and they got swept by the Pelicans. A big part of that was Jrue Holiday just completely putting the clamps on Damian Lillard.
And but the other thing is, I should probably pull up the trade details before I just start kind of talking.
I have them here if you want me to read them.
Yeah. So we gave up a lot, a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Celtics get Jrue Holiday. Blazers get Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, a top 4 protected Golden State first-round pick in 2024, and then Boston's unprotected 2029 first-round pick.
That's the one I didn't love. The unprotected 2029. I was
yeah.
Unprotected?
I doubt both the Jays are still even there in 2029.
Both of them, no.
Yeah.
One of them for sure, probably. Jason Tatum will still be there if he's still playing basketball. Unless they just pull an audible and go, St. Louis, you're getting an expansion. I don't think that there will be any other free agent market because Boston will pay whatever the max they can for Jason Tatum. So it won't be a money thing. And I think he likes Boston. He comes out quite frequently and is when Dame was talking about, like, I don't want to go to Boston, he's like, we get it. You don't like Boston. Like, on Instagram Live, he his like of Boston seems to be genuine. So I feel like Brown might be gone, but I don't think Tatum will be. Because I guess a 12-year career, I feel like Tatum will play longer than that.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So, because 17 to 29, yeah. Anyway, didn't love that it was unprotected. I would have loved like even a top 3 protected in case things go really wrong. Or a top 4. But that...
you have all your other picks, though, don't you? Out there?
I don't know what we lost with the KP stuff. I always mix up what picks we lost in that
Did you
realm.
give up picks?
I thought we had to give up a couple, but usually what happens is once the offseason rolls around or trade deadline, I like restock. Once things have settled, like then I'll figure out what we all have and like think about. But I know that we're not empty. We're not like a Pelicans or Lakers. We're not like a Lakers. Pelicans have all the Lakers side, but
I thought the Grizzlies picks were the ones that got moved around in that deal, from what I remember. I'm pretty sure
might be right.
Grizzlies gave up Tyus Jones and some picks. But there might have been a Celtics pick in there somewhere. But, yeah. Anyways, though, I think you're still pretty – there's nothing, like, dangerous about – like you don't have an arid wasteland of a future like some teams definitely do, like the Bucks.
No. We also have those 8 second-round picks. Just because we just collected second-round picks. That's like true. It was our job as, like, a move like this. And that's why I was, like – I was hoping – I didn't – because I knew that – we talked about it on last episode that – Jrue Holiday's salary, it would have to be Malcolm Brogdon and Al Horford or Robert Williams. That's the only way that money would be close, unless you put in like a bunch of little pieces. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll do like a couple little pieces, figure out a way to make the salary work, and then like send just a boatload of seconds because we have them for a trade like this. Brad Stevens has talked about it, like those second round picks a lot of the time can be the glue to make a trade work. Or those are where you get the Euro guys that don't have the crazy spotlight, but they're still valuable. They're not throwaway picks like a lot of people used to look at them at. And I think he said as he did as a coach, he was like, I didn't really care about my second round picks. I was like, get rid of them. I don't care.
Yeah.
And he says that, and the best player in the league was a second round pick. But anyway, second round picks have gained value for sure. But on the court, if we're not betting favorites for the East, I haven't looked. We have to be.
Oh, above the Bucks now, you mean?
I think it had to have bumped us above the Bucks.
That's
like
interesting.
The starting 5 would be.
I don't know if I would say had to, but I wouldn't be surprised either way.
But then the Bucks got campaign, which I was like, dang. No, like you laugh at like that was just a good value point guard spot that I think he would have been a Celtic if this wasn't able to come together.
Honestly, yeah, he would be I would like him more on the Celtics than I do with Milwaukee, honestly. But
money's obviously not there anymore because this is definitely a move for Banner 18 to like this year.
Yeah.
And next year. But we talked about does Jrue Holiday, did he say like I'll play a little longer?
Apparently. Honestly.
I just don't know because like that's a lot to give up.
You want to hear their lines now?
Yeah, sure.
So the Celtics and the Bucks are tied. They have the same exact line.
That's fine.
54.5. So the Celtics went up a win and the Bucks went down a win after the Jrue trade.
That's fine. Even to win the East.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair. Also, well, look at the odds.
That's what I was looking at.
So Bucks odds on their over-under, though, is even 54.5. So it's even odds both ways. Celtics are slightly more favored to go over than under with a minus 115 over.
Okay.
Versus a minus 105.
Is there not one just to win the East?
Oh, probably. Let's look at that. Yeah, so there's the
plus 225 for Boston. I don't have the whole
plus 225, you said?
That's what I have for draft. Hold on.
I see on FanDuel, Milwaukee and Boston have the same odds again for Eastern Conference champions at plus 175.
Yeah, and then everything's around that, but it looks like most sports books are looking past FanDuel, this is MGM has Boston at at 200 plus 200, Milwaukee 175, and then Vegas Insider has them at, or that's the thing that has everything compiled.
I was going to say, I think that's like Metacritic.
DraftKings has them even. Yeah, so it looks like it's even to slightly favoring the Bucks, which is, I'd have it the other way around. Just if it wasn't because, and I guess the matchups one-on-one, this isn't to win a series, this is to win the East, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Head-to-head, though, I think Boston should definitely be favored in a series against,
because of their...
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks won a series against the Celtics. Not going to say that at all because they have great players.
Players that will just get things done. But it will be a good 6-game series.
6, exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to 7. Anyway, this will be interesting.
So how do you feel about Robert Williams, I guess? What do you feel about that?
I'm bummed, like a lot of bummed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this does not hurt like Marcus Smart did.
Mm-hmm. But it's just the combination of both those happening in the same offseason.
Like, I've never had my heart ripped out, really, yet. I haven't been like, oh, that guy's gone. Like, Danny Ainge did it, but it's before I paid attention enough to, like, really be like these guys. And now I'm like, that one's rough.
Yeah.
That one's rough. Robert Williams is one that I – because he just had so much upside. He just, like, never could stay healthy.
Yeah. For sure. That's a huge part of it.
And he was a big part of – it scares me to have Al Horford have less – as he gets older, I feel like you'd want more security blankets, and it feels like we just got rid of it. Even though –
yeah, I mean, you still have KP, though, which you didn't have last year.
That's true. And who knows? I'm sure things aren't done. Things will get moved. Benches will get filled out and swapped and changed and fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's – The Malcolm Brogdon one, I wasn't as like emotionally connected to him as I was Robert Williams. Like I was like pumped to have Brogdon come last year for sure.
Yeah, but he's a new guy. He's not.
He was just also money. I don't know if Portland was like, yeah, we're really into Brogdon.
Oh no, they're looking at flipping him now too again
already.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw the deal, and it's like they keep like getting a less valuable.
But
guard.
I think they're in the green. Like, I think with this, getting the first rounds,
for sure.
Portland has officially been like, we are happy with whatever haul we get for Brogdon. We are happy.
Yeah,
we added DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams III to accompany our young guards.
Yeah, I think if they get a mediocre first rounder out of Brogdon, and that's it, I think that's fine.
Like if the Clippers just go like, yeah, we'll give you our. Clippers can't. That's the wrong team to say. But
why can't they? Oh, because of the pick. That's true.
The pick is like they covet those. Like they need to because they don't have any of them.
Yeah.
Left. But anyway, I think I was bummed for the Robert Williams thing. But this Portland team is definitely more watchable than they were 2 weeks ago for me. More like partly because they have Robert Williams III, but then you've also got like the DeAndre Ayton and that core to look fun. And then I don't know. It'll just be a man. It's a bummer though. It's just a bummer. If it would have been Al Horford, I would have been in shambles. We wouldn't have been able to record today.
Yeah, that would have been. I wouldn't have liked that as much, honestly, for the Celtics. Just because when you're making this move for Jrue, you're putting your window to more now. So Al Horford, I think, is more important to you winning right now than Robert Williams is, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe especially just because of the fact that he's more reliable.
He's just getting older.
Yeah, but I mean,
Jrue's older.
He's basically immortal. It seems like Al Horford. We thought his career was over like 4 years ago, and then all of a sudden he's just having
when he looked really rough in
Philadelphia.
Speaking of Philly, did you see Joel's tweet?
I don't think so.
He said, this offseason has been fun, LOL.
Because of James Harden? Yeah.
I don't know. Why? I think it's just because they've been in the conversation for literally everything and have never done it.
Oh, okay.
And so I just feel like that would be It's Joel Embiid. Him tweeting something does not actually mean anything.
Yeah, I think he's just being a little like sarcastic.
Tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, tongue in cheek about just there's been a lot of things that's happened that's kind of like, are you kidding me at this point? Like, what more can like happen to go wrong for our team this summer? I guess they're pretty good from an injury standpoint and stuff like that, but the James Harden thing is huge, and then just they're being
losing all of their depth pieces they had because they all went and signed for slightly better money at other teams. Like they're all gone because that was like the big thing. Obviously, they had that good high end, but like the depth was like huge for them last year. They had like 10 guys during the regular season. They'd be like, yeah, we could throw anybody in. 11 guys. It was like,
oh yeah,
geez Louise, they just don't get tired. And now they're down to just like Embiid, a Harden that doesn't want to be there, and Maxey. They've got obviously
those are their stars, yeah. But the other guys
depleted substantially.
But the thing is, they like all the guys behind, like that were buried on the bench, were guys that were playing rotation minutes for them not that long ago on like a good team. You know, Shake Milton, Furkan Korkmaz, those guys at one point were like actually contributors.
Yeah,
but then they signed all these older, more veteran players, and then those guys weren't playing at all last couple seasons. But so you would think that, you know, they still have an NBA rotation that could make some noise.
They still do for sure. They're still the third best team in the East.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that there's a gap now.
For sure.
I feel like there used to be it was Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, and now I think it's Bucks, Celtics, and then Sixers are the start. Or maybe they're on their own little island because I would still put them above Miami. Miami's playoff run needs to like be removed from people's minds. Miami is not the same level as the Bucks or the Celtics or the Sixers of the world.
No.
They're closer to the Sixers, but they're not. Just because the playoff run went how it did, they are not the same at all.
They're gonna have a challenge ahead of them to even make it back to the playoffs. Like, because just looking at how last season went, and how they've lost pieces.
Also going into this season. Strus is gone.
Yeah. Gabe Vincent.
Vincent's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry's getting another year older. I mean, Jimmy, for that matter, is getting another year older.
Heroes getting angry. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. They seem to play better without Tyler Hero. That's a problem.
Fair and true. That is fair and true. Anyway, let us know what you think, honestly. How much better are the Celtics after doing this? Are they better? Worse? Just kidding. They're not worse. But
definitely not worse.
No, there's no world they're worse. I don't think there's a world. Unless, I'm not even going to say it. There's a scenario I thought that they are worse, and I'm not going to put that into the universe. I'm going to keep that one locked down.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because I just don't want to speak it into existence.
Yeah. So, Jrue Holiday, like you guys just have a really solid starting five with a great sixth man. Also, if Derek White is your sixth man, that's sixth man of the year candidate. We go back to back with different players.
I think, and we talked about, we were texting. I think it'll be like not a load managing who's the sixth man, but like there'll be matchups where Al Horford will come off the bench and also like save him a little bit because he is getting a year older, like all those other guys we said. And then there'll be years where not years. There'll be games where they go, okay, we'll go KP, Horford, and then the Jays and Jrue. Or the Jays. I didn't even think of that.
All three Jays, yeah.
The big three is the Jays. Bleacher Report also was hecka out of pocket. They said, take a look at Boston's new big three. And they took the same image they did with KP and just put Jrue Holiday there instead. They didn't even make an effort.
Really? So he's just way taller than the other guys? Is that what you mean?
He's sitting higher in the image.
Yeah.
From what I saw. And I was like,
funny.
Okay.
Made it really fast.
Well, because the Woj tweet came out, and that came out 10 minutes after. But I was just like...
It's a fast Photoshop job.
I just feel like... Well, if you are those people, you definitely built it already. You had to have had it done. The second that they were like, we're looking to flip Jrue, you'd be like, okay, get a Sixers one without Harden, get a Sixers one with Harden for some stupid reason, get a Celtics one, and get a Heat one. Just get them all made, get them done, and if there's something else, it'll be fine that it's slow.
Uh-huh.
If they waited till today to make that, someone is not doing their job during the week.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Bleacher Report. But yeah, so I think that Jrue is going to give you also just a better point guard, like in terms of
an actual point
facilitation.
guard.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has played point guard. Wild.
Yeah, led the entire playoffs in assists in 2021. Fun fact. But yeah, so that should be a nice upgrade there. I mean, on both sides of the ball, you could argue it's an upgrade. As good as Marcus Smart is on the defensive end, Jrue Holiday is at least as good.
I also think that like the difference between them offensively is worth the maybe like even if you say they're even, and for the sake of the argument, we'll pretend Marcus Smart is a little bit better. I don't think he is. He's just not as big.
You're talking about defensively, right?
Defensively, yeah.
Okay.
You take what they do offensively, Jrue Holiday is just better.
Way better. Not even close.
Yes, it's just better. So if you lose a point on the defensive side, even though I don't think you do, just because of the size that Jrue Holiday is compared to Marcus Smart.
They're like the same size, aren't they?
I always thought Marcus Smart was shorter, like tinier.
I think they're listed at the same height. If they are different, Jrue might be like listed an inch taller, but they weight wise they're probably similar. They're around the same size, but Jrue is like he's not very good off ball defensively wise. He's not bad, but it's like Drew's like strength or his specialty is like go find a player and just take him out of the game. Like that's what Jrue's really good at. Marcus Smart can do that. He's good at that too. But what Marcus Smart is really, really good at is just like team defense and like kind of just being the energizer, captain of the defense in a way. You know, Marcus Smart is more of like a team defender. So like I'd say Marcus Smart has a more well-rounded defensive package or skill set than Jrue does. But Drew's like, in terms of an on-ball defender, I don't think there's one better than Jrue Holiday. So
it could be worse, but it is not worse, actually. I don't think it's probably about as good as it could have gone. We have a point guard that's a real point guard. Definitely not the year that I thought it would be that like everything would get like reworked and reshuffled around. But
yeah, it's weird. I wasn't expecting all this to happen either. But it did.
It happened, and here we are, and we'll see. Makes the season a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was just going to be like it'll be the same couple teams duking out in the East at least. The West is a whole different animal, but on the East, I figured it'd be the same teams fighting for the top seed.
It is actually just new look teams, new look versions of those teams.
That's very true, but it's wildly different looking versions of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the jerseys are the same, yes, but it's not the same team in terms of personnel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we probably rambled on too long.
Yes, but we can
hop that being said,
into our episode topic for today, which is the Southeast Division, going through their over-under picks, getting back into this, finishing it out before the season starts. So a quick rundown of the game. We're going through every team in the league. This is the 5th division we've done, so we only have one more after this. And we're going through their over-under lines from FanDuel Sportsbook. We are going to make our picks over or under on each team's over-under line. And if we get them right at the end of the season, we get a point. If we get them wrong, we lose a point. And we get one lock per division, and a lock will change that selection to being worth 3 points, positive or negative, or positive and negative, rather, whatever it turns out as. And then we also get one stay away per division to make that pick worth nothing, so it doesn't hurt you or help you. But, yeah, without further ado, I guess I actually wrote down these lines before this Jrue Holiday trade happened. So I don't know if they would be different.
I feel like they shouldn't be.
I feel like they wouldn't be affected too much. But I'll just take a gander at the Hawks one. The Hawks one is the same, so we'll just treat these as they are the same, because they probably are. But without further ado, let's get on into the Atlanta Hawks. And so Atlanta Hawks, last year they went 500. They won 41 games out of 82. My ceiling to floor, range for them. I had them at 55 for a ceiling, 37 for a floor, and then 47 wins was their reasonable prediction. So they were on the lower end of that range, but a lot of that had to do with the trade drama throughout the year, them changing head coaches once again, team chemistry issues galore. So their line this year is right at where their total was last year, which is 41.5. So have to win 42 to go over. And that means that, obviously in a rising tide in the East, they're going to have to be a better team than they were last year, which I like the prospects of from the standpoint of like the new head coach with Quinn Snyder. I think that'll be a better look for them. They did lose John Collins.
For nothing.
Yeah, it was for nothing.
Like, in essence, it was pretty much just like he costs a lot. Here's nothing.
Yeah.
It was technically a trade, I think, right?
It was a trade, yeah. For Rudy Gay and a second-round pick or maybe a first, something like that.
Essentially, it was just a dumping of a salary.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't get any value for who John Collins could be as a player.
Yeah. And, if you guys have listened to me talk about the Hawks in the past, I would say in some ways makes the roster make more sense just by getting rid of John Collins. But obviously I don't like eating the loss of value there. It's still a valuable person that you should get something for.
Losing talent for nothing is not ideal.
Mm-hmm. But the role that John Collins has had to play ever since Capella came to town has not been what John Collins is great at. He's become better at those things, which I think has helped him in his career in the long run.
Be a better basketball player.
Mm-hmm. But those aren't like they basically in the starting lineups, at least when he was on the floor with Capella, he was relegated to being like a 3-and-D wing, which those were two of his biggest weaknesses coming into the league was his 3-pointer and his defense on the perimeter, at least. And he got a lot better at that, those two things like way better than the vast majority of players ever
thought he could be.
Yeah, like the vast majority of players you'll see do not make that kind of a jump in those kinds of areas. Like they don't get that much better at those things that he did.
You don't just become a shooter. You don't just pick up a shooter's touch in a couple of seasons because you really work hard. Mm-hmm. Like it takes like a long time. And then defensively, it's like 90% of the defense is like the physical intangibles. Obviously, you had him. He was a freak athlete, rim runner. But like the mental capacity and basketball IQ to do defense correctly is also not something you just pick up from a couple of years.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So props to him. Hopefully his shooting comes back. It took a big dip last season because of I don't know if you've seen all those pictures of his finger, but that giant messed up swollen thing on his knuckle. A lot of people have said that's what has affected his shooting, which I'm sure it's probably going to be hard to shoot when your finger is swollen to double its size.
And when you're not a naturally good shooter, having to like completely like figure out how to shoot again is not great.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully that comes back in Utah where he is now. But so looking at the Atlanta Hawks roster, though, there's a few names on here that I didn't know were here, to be honest. And that is right off the bat, we have Patty Mills on this roster, as well as Garrison Matthews. And then one player I'm not familiar with, which is Muhammad. I'm not even trying to say his last name, but it's Gueye. Gueye is, I think, an okay guess. But, yeah, so not a lot of changes, I guess, other than obviously losing John Collins. They haven't brought anybody in to, like, completely fill in that role, but they did have young guys that were kind of buried on the bench that could definitely step into that role, like a Jalen Johnson. Not necessarily to fill in the starting level minutes, but the minutes that will be left over on the bench from the other guys stepping up, like a Sadiq Bey, AJ Griffin as a wing. We have DeAndre Hunter obviously still is on the Hawks roster. Onyeka Okongwu is probably going to be the biggest benefactor of this change.
Well, and I think that it'll turn him into like not a household name, but people know who he is. He is poised to do a lot more because he's shown flashes of a lot, but he's always been like played 11 minutes a game and just kind of fill this role if everybody's healthy. So I think that he could be, the biggest benefactor is a really good way to put it. He could have, it'll be called the breakout season, but it'll just be due to actually getting a volume that is like able to produce any kind of numbers.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And we'll get the second season of DeJounte and Trae together in the backcourt. See if they play a little bit better together, have a little bit more success when they are on the court with one another. That'll be a big deciding factor as well for how they do with their line. But without further ado, I'm just going to give my pick on it, and that is I'm feeling better about the under than I am the over.
The East, people have to lose in the East, and Quinn Snyder and Trae Young don't feel like a match made in heaven in terms of a player-coach combo. And I don't know Trae Young. I've never met Trae Young, and I probably never will. But when the same exact thing happens multiple times, there's only been two consistents. One, it's been the Atlanta Hawks, and two, Trae Young has been like the center of the issue.
It's been different GMs though. Also,
it's like there's been every other thing you can Rubik's Cube and change. Trae Young has always been an ever-present problem or ever-present part whenever there is a problem.
Yeah.
So that is why I am going under, because I don't know if maybe Quinn Snyder gets it figured out. I don't know, but I just feel like there's a chance that it just doesn't mesh and Trae Young just goes mad and doesn't play for 20 games or whatever he did last year. It probably wasn't that long, but he just didn't play for a while after he was like maybe okay and cleared to play. If you remember that, or maybe he got excused from the team last year.
He didn't go to one of the games that he was injured, but he didn't go with the team to like be on the bench and watch the game. Because
was it just one game?
At least one. I don't know. It might have happened multiple times, but that was because he was in a fight with Nate McMillan. They were like spouting back and forth apparently earlier that day. And then Trae Young says that Nate McMillan said, all right, well then don't bother showing up to the game then, or something like that. But Nate McMillan said he never said that. But Trae said that's what he was told, so he didn't come to the game. But yeah, so that was a funny playing out of events with, it's just Trae has always seemed to, with multiple coaches now, obviously, like we've been talking about, has not gone along with. And I think both times, definitely this last time, but I think even with Lloyd Pierce, the rest of the team, it was reported that the rest of the team was more on the coach's side than they were on Trae's side.
Which doesn't normally happen.
Yeah.
Usually it's like the players are like, this coach sucks. Or he's stepping on our toes. Cough, cough, Indiana.
Yeah.
All players were unified.
And usually it's the best players that have the better relationship with the head coach.
With the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other way around, where everyone that's not your arguably only like bona fide star player.
Yeah.
Was like, yo, I've got a problem. And everybody else was like, no, I think he's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's not a great sign. But what I think they did well or right this time going in with Quinn Snyder is they gave him way more power up front and announced that, hey, this is the situation. He has, I can't remember the actual, like the technical term for it, but he has front office executive capabilities. Like, so he's above just being able to get fired by the GM. Like the GM can't just say, hey, you're fired.
You're done.
Like, it has to be like a very organizational type of decision. And also they said going into the season that they're not letting Trae Young just supersede Quinn Snyder's authority.
They pretty much told him that if like it comes to a boiling point, Trae Young's not going to be a Hawk.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right move for the longevity of your franchise. Letting Quinn Snyder cook for a while is fine. I don't think that will do any harm. But yeah, I'm going under for this year. Teams have to lose. I think it'll be the Hawks. Watchability, don't really care. I haven't been super on the Hawks train since the 2 years ago, whatever that was.
Yeah,
the year, like, because they had their run and then they disappointed. So it was 2 years ago. So I'm like,
well, you could call it 3 years ago technically, if you're counting this season as this year, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So. Yeah, 2-9. You said
2-9.
That's just a pretty solid one, honestly.
I just really don't care.
Yeah, I tend to lean. If you guys haven't listened to the other episodes, I tend to lean a little bit higher on the watchability score rankings. But so I'll probably give them like a 3-7.
But the fact we're that close is crazy.
Yeah, I don't have very many teams below 5, and
we are going to have a lot of low numbers in this division. Just a heads up.
Oh yeah, maybe we should have said that at one point. That this is, I think this is by far the worst division in the NBA.
Because we thought Dame was coming here, and then we talked about like, oh, maybe we gave Dame his own episode when he's traded and breaking all that movement down. But yeah, this is just a whole lot of not fun, including the not fun that's up next, who recently also had news that one of their players is no longer with the team.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Kai Jones,
yeah. So
it's not like a team saying we're not. I think he stepped away from the team.
Yeah, I didn't read anything about that.
He was going. It was interesting.
It doesn't surprise me. He was
on some sort of mind-altering substance.
Oh, and so
on Instagram Live.
Okay.
But apparently, that's like how he just used to be. He just is like that kind of a quirky, weird guy. But everybody kept saying that he's like doing Percocets.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Well, hopefully he gets stuff figured out. But, oh yes, it looks like some people there. Yeah, Greg Brown is being interviewed saying that that's just the way he is.
He's just a different guy.
But yeah, that's an interesting situation. Regardless, so I don't think that's going to affect them too much in terms of winning games. But so last year they won 27 games, so they're 27-55. That was towards the bottom again of their range for me. I had them at 42 at their ceiling, 26 at their floor, 32 was the sweet spot in the middle. And then so their line this year is going to be 30.5 wins. So they have to win 31 to get the over. This is a tougher one because LaMelo, a big part of why they only won 27 last year was because LaMelo got deactivated about midway through the season, I think.
And even then, like that first half, he didn't play all of the games. He was I feel like he was up and down in terms of ability to play even in that first half before they just shut him down for the season.
Yeah. So, and Gordon Hayward misses tons of games as usual.
Ever since the incident.
Yeah. So it maybe if, they have a more healthy looking roster this season, they could scrape out some more wins and hit that over. But I don't feel great. I need to kind of think about all my picks here because I don't want to go under on every team. And that's kind of how I'm
because
feeling.
we've gone over on every other East team pretty much. Like someone has to lose. We've been pretty high on other divisions in the East.
I don't know if we've gone over on maybe like slightly more than under on other teams in the East, but it's interesting to look at. Do you have the picks in front of you?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think we both have gone at least over and under on each, like at least a team or two in each division so far. So it hasn't been too big of a difference. But I feel like the Hornets might. Yeah, I'm gonna go over on the Hornets actually.
I'm going under. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. What was the line?
30.5.
Under.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the over here just because 31 games isn't a lot of wins, and the Heat's line I think is a little high. I don't know. I have a different team that I'm going to use my lock on in this division, and it's not the Charlotte Hornets. So I'm going to go slight over. Don't feel great about it, but
and I will be going slight under.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be picking for watchability scores.
Another rough one for me. Going to give him a whopping 2-3.
2-3.
No, healthy. Okay. Healthy LaMelo. 2-9.
Also, I think what has to be factored into this is the broadcast as well. The play-by-play.
1-3.
Wait, why? Why'd you go down?
He's the worst.
You don't like Eric Collins?
No.
Why?
Everything is fine until it just goes, Miles Bridges in the first quarter.
Have you ever watched a Hawks game or a Hornets game?
Hornets game? Yes.
in the first quarter. I don't know if he does it like that, but
he does it. It's just whenever there's a big dunk, he just screams.
Big dunk, or even just like a big play and like a clutch free throw. Like I love it. I love it. He's so entertaining. I love the energy. I don't know. That surprises me that you don't like that, because it feels like that's like more of your
realm.
Yeah, like more being like kind of hyped and crazy about something.
Oh no, you've probably never listened to me call a football game. Yeah, that's not
well,
how
I don't mean while in a booth, but I mean just in life in general.
No, yeah. This is maybe. I just think that there's like moments where you get hyped like that, like for sure. But I just am not all in on that one at all.
Okay, that surprises me. I've never heard anyone say they don't like Eric Collins.
And like his like call itself is fine. It just like if he did it like not every game, whenever something happens, and he just like peeks out his mic, and I'm just.
All right. Well, I guess we agree to disagree.
No, this is
that adds to watchability for me. So I'm gonna go a 5-3 for the Charlotte Hornets, just because LaMelo's fun. I've always liked Gordon Hayward. Terry Rozier is a bucket, and Eric Collins just yelling about stuff, and he has Miles Bridges back to yell about his dunks. So
fresh off of beating women.
Yes, precisely. Which, not sure if I am happy about him coming back from that standpoint, but
that is why he was gone. Further looking, like his pacing is good when he calls games. His energy level outside of his random, it's a big play, so it's not random, but like usually those moments are like the bang type of moments, like in the corner, like that's when that should come out.
Yeah,
I just feel like he just like it just happens a lot.
You think he does that stuff more often than Mike Breen uses the bang? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying like the screaming bang when Ray Allen hit the corner three, not just when he goes bang, like he yells it, but not like the same frequency.
Yeah, but those happen like. I feel like just because there's a compilation video of him doing a bunch of this, like it's not like it happens even.
Maybe I just catch some high flying Hornets games, and I've just seen him do it like 3 times in a quarter. I'm like, okay,
yeah. I would say it's more like so he in the moments that Mike Breen would say bang, Eric Collins just loses his mind like that. That's what's.
And Mike Breen yells bang too often.
Oh, and you're saying Mike Breen yells bang too often? Is that what you said?
Like, yells it too often. Saying it, that's his thing. That's what he does. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just feel like once there's like a big moment, if there's like if you used your peak and there's nowhere else to go. This is more from like
he does the double bang sometimes, but and the biggest the biggest moments he has done the double bang, but.
Yeah, I
don't know. I feel like Mike Breen, there's not a better play-by-play guy. Like, what was that face?
Mike Breen's good. No, just interesting.
Mike Breen is the GOAT. Man, I didn't know we felt this differently about.
I think we just have different levels of like how you should call a game.
Mike Breen is like the pinnacle of.
Okay.
I just think he's like he never makes mistakes. Even when he does, it's like very like fast, like turned around, like, you know, like it's just like he's just so good. His voice is so perfect for it. His tone is like very consistent. He's never like it's like he's more even keeled. Like he's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from Eric Collins. But even with that even keeledness, like when he gets like the bangs out there, like it's just like,
you said he's the GOAT. That is
who is the GOAT?
Kevin Harlan. Are you insane?
You would say Kevin Harlan is unquestionably better than Mike Breen.
Maybe just basketball, whatever. But Kevin Harlan does baseball, football, and basketball at the highest level.
I love Kevin Harlan. I'm not taking it away from Kevin Harlan. I'm just saying Mike Breen is like an at least equal candidate for being the GOAT.
Well, just saying without hesitation. And the basketball caveat's the more important thing. Because, like, Yeah, this is going to be a thing that we go round and round and round and round. It doesn't matter. But it's just, that's why. It's just without hesitation, how you just went, he's the GOAT. I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, would you say that's weird to call LeBron the GOAT? If somebody was like, it's LeBron, it's the GOAT. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's insane that you just said LeBron's
just the
GOAT.
basketball caveat for the announcer thing that it makes more. My brain immediately just went to everyone.
Well, no, I just mean that
every sport.
If you broke it
like
down.
Joe Buck is up there, but he doesn't do basketball.
Yeah. I'm just saying, even if you broke it down, like saying LeBron's the GOAT example, if you broke it down, I actually probably would lean Jordan. Like in that, if I had to actually pick one guy. But I don't see any problem in just saying like, oh, LeBron James, he's like the GOAT, you know? Because there's very few guys that you can actually say that about. He's one of maybe two at most. Yeah, probably only two guys that you can say that about as far as basketball players.
Just
I feel like that way about Mike Breen.
Breen, I was more that I was just thinking announcers across everything, like guys that do multiple sports very well.
And
Mike
so who
Breen
else?
is not,
So who else besides Kevin Harlan then?
Joe Buck is insanely good. Doesn't do basketball, but he's really, really good. He does baseball, or he used to do baseball, but now that he's without Amazon, I'm not sure. Mike Tree, he only does football. I'm trying to think of other multi-sport guys. A lot of guys just do one sport, but that's why I was like,
I like
shocked more the speed, the gusto, Al Michaels is falling off for football. He's getting too old. He needs to give up.
I didn't even know that he still did it. I remember him from like the old like Madden 05 game and stuff like that. But
Joe Buck's at ESPN. I don't know why I said Al Michaels is Thursday Night Football,
which is Fox,
which is Amazon
or Amazon. Oh yeah,
he also is able to do playoff games somehow.
It's an Amazon broadcast too.
Yeah. Thursday Night Football is only on Prime. Yeah,
I knew that, but I didn't know the broadcast. Like in terms of like the team, like what it shows on screen. Like it's like an Amazon. They work for Amazon. Like
as far as I understand,
I guess that would make sense if they have the only rights.
It's
to it.
only on Prime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why this morning's game in London was on Nickelodeon.
What game?
And Disney. It was on Disney Plus. Sorry. It was like the Jaguars Falcons, and it was on Disney Plus as a live, and it was like little animated people running around and the broadcasters.
So it's like an alternate broadcast thing.
Yeah, and it was wild. I don't know why you would make a kid watch that. Just let him watch the actual game.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a fun conversation about broadcasting and.
I don't think any of the broadcasts we set are that bad. I just think that like energy is a resource, like moments. So if you go to this extreme in the second quarter when the game is not close, what do you do when there's like this Ray Allen in the corner type of moment?
Take his shirt off and break his like, you know what I mean? Like Eric Collins just goes insane.
No, Eric Collins never is lacking energy in a broadcast, which is a thing that not everybody can do. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he gets so, and like I said, I don't watch a lot of Hornets basketball. So like the Hornets games I have watched, maybe I just caught ones where he was just feeling extra juicy. Yeah. And he just had like three, because it was like I just recovered from the last one before he went on his next one of just screaming. And I was like, this is the same quarter. What is going on? And it's like not even the fourth quarter. And like if like a team was like mounting a comeback and like to tie the game up, there was a thunderous slam for Miles Bridges. That's when you lose your absolute mind as the home guy.
Yeah.
But he just does it like big dunks. It's never like, and the layup. He like doesn't do stuff like that.
He might. I think he honestly has a I did not exaggerate. I was not exaggerating when I said on a clutch free throw. Have you seen that clip of Terry Rozier hitting a free throw and then like Eric Collins' voice is just like,
"Oh yeah, Terry, two beauties."
That's wild. Anyway, different things for different folks. Different strokes for different folks. Yeah. That applies just about everything in life.
Honestly, that's one of the most versatile phrases.
Oh yeah. I mean, other than saying, like, I like what I like and you like what you like, that's what it's saying. If folks didn't understand what I was saying when I said that. I've said it a bunch of times on the podcast probably already. It's pretty ingrained in my vernacular.
Different strokes for different folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty universally like at least in terms of English speaking people that like it's an idiom obviously, but
like it works for food.
Yeah, it works for just about anything that
pick a thing that you can have. Yeah, if there's anything with an opinion, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Are you good with the Hornets? Oh, we totally forgot jerseys.
We did.
Hawks. Do we want to Hawks jersey? Dominic Wilkins slam dunk contest.
Which jersey did he wear for that?
It was the all red with the hawk.
The Hawks, actually, like text, you mean?
Rewind. I totally forgot. Just they're all black, like they're carbon black. Ones they wear now.
The peach ones.
I'm almost positive that's not it.
Oh, okay. I know which ones you're talking about now. The yellow ATL ones.
Yep. Yes.
I like those ones are awesome. I like that, but I like the peach, the ones from last year. Those the city editions. Those are my favorite Hawks jerseys.
And we only get them for 1 year.
Yeah.
Petition to make city editions every other year.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our jerseys on Charlotte.
Charlotte has some really good jerseys, honestly. I love their colors.
Honestly, I think the Portland Charlotte jersey is the best one.
Oh, the PDX one. No, I like. I mean, it's hard to make a bad Charlotte jersey, I feel like, but they made a really bad one last year.
They've made some really bad ones.
I don't know what anybody in their right mind was thinking, putting CLT on the front of a jersey. CLT, like who sees CLT and thinks Charlotte
and doesn't think clit?
Yeah, or at like minimum, like if it's not, they don't think what you just said. They think like Colt, or something like that. Like every interpretation of that, like
it's not Charlotte. Charlotte's the last one if you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, like it's just CLT. Like why? Why is that what you did? CHA, like the one. If you're gonna do 3 letters, how about use the actual 3 letters that are the abbreviation for the city, like the CHA, for your team.
Yeah.
Like why not just do that?
Because they've done that in the past, haven't they?
They've had CHA jerseys before, but for some reason they decided to just throw a curveball at everybody, put CLT on the front of a jersey, and everybody was like, "All right, yeah, this is good. We'll do this."
Nike is just out of control. They need to be stopped. Technically, they're Jordan, but it's the same brains. I'm sure they just need to be stopped. Make them cook and think longer.
Bad idea. Honestly,
I think
it
all
probably
black Buzz cities.
All black Buzz cities are good. But I think honestly the CLT jerseys might have been a play on like they're just trying to get viral, make something go viral, be talked about. I don't know how you don't think of like it's just
you have to.
Yeah, there's no way that there was a group of adult people that decided on that, and none of them thought about, what is CLT?
Like, what do people think of?
Yeah, what would you like if you just looked at those letters?
And then the pins, yeah. They've got some great pinstripes. I'm going to stick with my all black Buzz City. Honestly, why didn't they just put BC on a jersey? Or BZC? That feels better than CLT.
Yeah, honestly. And then I like the teal Buzz Cities also are good. But my favorites, I'd have to say, might be the cursive Charlotte ones with the hex print. The hex.
Yep.
What's that called?
Hexagonals.
Yeah, hexacomb. I like those ones. Obviously, they've got some great throwbacks, like the Larry Johnson, Grandmama, old Hornets jerseys. Honestly, I think Charlotte is like an all-time jersey franchise, to be honest. One of my favorites. But yeah, that'll do it for Charlotte. On to Miami. Oh, we didn't really look at the Hornets roster, did we? But we talked about, I guess, they got Brandon Miller in the draft. They got Miles Bridges coming back. They haven't lost a lot. Bryce McGowan's is on this team. Mark Williams had a pretty good rookie season last year. See him coming back. Nick Smith Jr. was another guy that got in the draft this year. Frank Ntilikina is on this team, apparently.
Oh, cool to see him still in the league.
Yeah. And Amari Bailey looks like was an undrafted free agent they signed, whose mom dated Drake, famously. Just throwing that out there. But the next team we're going to be moving on to is the Miami Heat. And that their record last year was better than I thought. In my head, thinking back, I thought they were like closer to 500, but they're actually 44-38. It's just their point differential predicted them to be a losing team. Like they should have, if you look at like what your point differential, what that predicts is what your season wins is, like it was like a 37-38 win team, something like that. But the thing is, they play in the Southeast Division, so they get more wins than other teams do, just by luck of the draw. Yeah. So that might help them get to their over, which I should mention what my range for them last year was: 55 as the ceiling, 38 as the floor, 47 was the reasonable prediction. They got 44. And so this year, their line is right at where my line was for them last season, which is at 46.5. So they have to win 47 to go over.
It went up? They saw that last regular season and were like, let's bump him up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to win more games. Get out of here with that garbage.
I think it's a huge part of it has to be the run that they made to the finals, obviously.
But that's not repeatable, and then the pieces that made that work are gone.
Yeah, some of them.
What are you doing? Lock under. Done. That's delusion.
All right, lock under. I was going to use my normal maybe I don't want to do the same thing as you because that makes the game not as meaningful. But I honestly very easily could go right along with you and lock the under here.
Like if they would have put their line at 44, that's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Because
44.5.
They had a 44.5, 43.5, because they had their big push at the end of the year to even get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like there's a world where we're wrong about Atlanta, things click, and Atlanta's the best team in the Southeast. Jimmy Butler's a year older. Kyle Lowry is virtually just a butt cushion now. He doesn't really do much on like that's not fair to Kyle Lowry, but like
he's very old.
He's aggressively taken steps back as a basketball player since he got to since that first year in Miami. He has definitely taken steps back.
The main way he affects
the game. Is
Bam
going to turn into Joel Embiid? No.
No, but he might add to his game offensively is being able to stretch his shot out a little farther, maybe. That's like the upside. That's like the bright side that I can look at.
Jovic. Nikola Jovic is their upside. Their upside.
I think he might be still a few years away from being like a real guy, but
their upside is their future, which is because they didn't trade it all away.
Jaime Jaquez is another
older, which makes it a little bit tougher because he was a 4-year guy at UCLA, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's still a great. He's a whole lot of fun to watch play.
Yeah,
but it is.
Kevin Love is returning to the team. I thought that was a great addition they made during the year last year, which was a huge loss for Cleveland that they just bought him out.
Kevin Love.
Yeah. You don't usually see that, a good team with like playoff aspirations, like hopefully wanting to go to the conference finals, you know.
It might have just been
buy somebody out.
For Kevin Love. Maybe he was like, I'm done, find somewhere, and they couldn't find somewhere, so
yeah.
I don't know. But we talked about it to open things up. Losing value for nothing in the NBA is how you become a poverty franchise.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, bad moves. But Thomas Bryant is also on this team, which he was a nothing for the Nuggets last year, but he was great on the Lakers before that. So maybe he'll be good on the Heat.
I think it's also with the Nuggets. That was just a bad match. Bad, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Fit. A poor fit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to
explain. I didn't have more. I just feel like, okay, I guess I could. I just feel like he'd be a great Joel Embiid backup.
Mm.
And the Nuggets never asked their centers to be Jokic.
Other than when we had DeMarcus Cousins, but yeah.
But it just is not. They just didn't have like a unit built around what he did, and you don't build around Thomas Bryant. He's not that level of basketball player. Yeah. It just seemed like a very poor fit. But in LA, it was like exactly what he just was like what he does. That's all he needed to do. Yeah. And the Nuggets, I think, just wanted him to it just didn't work.
Yeah. He was missing a lot of it was just weird. His shot was like, I thought that every place I've seen him before, I've always seen him as like a stretch five. I don't remember him making a single jump shot on the Nuggets.
I don't remember him being that good of a shooter in Washington, but maybe.
I mean, he was. That's the way that he was always described as, and I feel like I've seen him shoot from the outside on other teams, and I've definitely I saw him rain in threes on the Lakers in the game they played against the Nuggets. But he shot some like around the free throw line jumpers in Denver that like airballed, and like just were like, how in the world is this like what happened? It's just confusing how much him and Reggie Jackson, the guys we got. I don't know if this is like the Bones Island cursed us on the way out for like anybody who gets added to this team is going to be like Space Jam, take their powers away. But that's what it felt like. So, but hopefully, yeah, Thomas Bryant bounces back in a new home in Miami. But yeah, so that I think there's not really any other changes to the roster. Caleb Martin had a coming out party in the playoffs. Maybe he takes another step up going into this NBA season. Tyler Hero coming back from injury. But yeah, so I think we're both good with the under. So looking at their watchability, the Miami Heat, I think is pretty – during the regular season, it's like pretty middle of the road. So I would give them a 5-2.
I'm seeing a 4-7 pop into my head. That feels high. Like a 4-7's high for me. I just have so little interest in every team except for one in the Southeast Division. There's one team that I'm like, woo! And the rest of them I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And if my memory serves, I think my woo is next, right?
They are next. Have we done Heat
Let's
jerseys?
Go. Oh, we have not. Oh.
All right, so Heat jerseys.
My favorite is I'm a serial killer. Every jersey we've ever had, let's clip them all together.
That's your favorite? Or are you being sarcastic?
No, okay. Ice whites.
Ice whites? Where are the ice
whites? Everything was white.
Oh, like back with the D-Wade, LeBron, the Heatles. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like those ones.
The Vice City ones are good. The black Vice Cities are better, I think. But no, I'm pretty – or the yellows. Those yellows are pretty lethal.
I hate the yellows.
I keep bringing up the bad ones on purpose.
They have some really awful jerseys.
They are the pinnacle of City Edition every 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, the thing is they have some really great jerseys, but then their bad ones are atrocious.
No, like
who? Why is there? I'm sure they have like
kids that don't have clothes wouldn't wear some of the Heat bad yellow jerseys. Like they would rather be clothingless, be naked than wear those jerseys.
I'm sure just like every team, how they do like, this explanation of why this, the symbolism behind why the jersey
sucks.
Like, yeah, I don't even want to know the reason why the Heat is that shade of yellow, but I just don't want to see it. It's worse color wise. I'm not going to say all around jersey, but it's worse than the Utah Jazz yellow jerseys, like color wise. But I still would take this jersey over the Utah Jazz jerseys because the Jazz, the font, like the size of the letters, that's just like all of it's bad. But the Heat one is just like it looks like it's Pacers
trophy
yellow.
Gold. It's trophy gold. And it's a nod to the infamous yellow ropes brought out seconds before the shot in the 2013 NBA Finals.
That is so not a reason to make a jersey. Yeah, so not
Why
a fan of that
haven't they done like I'm calling it. In 3 years, the Heat are going to like come out with like this. It'll be black and it'll ombre into fire colors and the bottom will have flames. Like a children's hot rod.
Yeah, that's funny. That is odd why they don't do more with fire.
Well, because it looks like it was made in like probably like MS Paint. If every time they try to do it,
have they tried?
Because I think it would look childish. No, I just would imagine that every time they try to do it, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, they need to do it in like a tasteful way.
No, because I'm talking about like comical, like black, and then like cartoon flames.
Oh, okay.
They're just gonna go all in.
Yeah.
But honestly, black with like an ombre into fire colors on the bottom and be red, that wouldn't be the worst. They could get trophy gold in there. Somewhere in the fade.
In the middle.
You could have trophy gold.
Yeah.
That would look so ugly.
It would.
Oh, okay. I've got it. All black.
Okay.
On the side strip, they could do just that's where the ombre colors are at.
Oh.
The fire stuff.
Yeah.
Not actually flames, but just like a patch.
Yeah.
And then colors there.
That wouldn't be terrible.
Boom. Sign me up, Nike.
Yeah, I don't hate that one. But looking at this also, I just noticed they have black versions and white versions of the serial killer jerseys. The ransom things.
I think it was 2 years because that was like City Edition was white Vice and then black Vice, or the other way around, and then it was black serial killer and then white serial killer. I think that was like.
Yeah, they might have done that. I mean, I love every version of the Miami Vice jerseys. Like, I love the black ones, I love the white ones, I love the blue ones, and I love the pink ones. But the ones I do not like at all, and I think is another example of how they can make such great jerseys, and then the bad ones are just atrocious. The one Miami Vice jersey that's awful is the gradient one that is half pink and then gradients into blue on the other half.
The 2021 City Edition jerseys.
Yeah. It looks like a cup of Trix yogurt that, I'm like starting to mix together when I'm like 7 years old.
So serial killer white is 2022, 2023 City Edition. Black was the 21-22 or the 22 season. I'll just say it that way. So white serial killer is 23, black serial killer is 22. Ugly Ombre is 2021. The trophy gold was what they're calling an earned jersey in 21.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the baby blue Miami Vice was the 2020 season. Black and pink Miami Vices were the city and earned jerseys.
Yeah, I like both those.
And then the white Miami Vice was the 18 City Edition.
Yeah.
What was and that's when City Edition started, was the 18 season, I think.
Okay. There's the full breakdown.
So yeah, they've only actually made 2 jerseys for City Edition. They just mix it up.
Oh, yeah, they just do different versions of them, you're saying? Yeah.
Yep, so they've only actually technically made 2.
Uh-huh. And the trophy gold one was just a stupid earned one.
Was earned.
They never should have done.
Oh, have you seen... Oh, this can't be real. Please be fake.
What is it?
City Editions need to be done. The Lakers leaked City Edition. The Los Angeles makes a mountain. It goes Los, and then Angeles, and then... I don't like that. That needs to burn in a hole.
Lakers City jersey leak. Oh, I did see those.
That feels fake.
I thought that was a bad dream, honestly.
But one thing awful. I do like, that font, is that the Minneapolis font?
Yeah, I think it's some sort of design thing they did a long time ago. It's a throwback to that.
Well, and then the Golden State ones, also rough to look at. Just City Editions need to die. I'm looking at all the City Editions that they have like leaked, and the only one that I would be like, there's 2. Mavericks was okay, and the Suns was... None of them are terrible. They're just not great. None of them are great, and it needs to be remembered. Oh, goodness. Is this real? Indianapolis is?
I don't see them.
I will. Instead of just talk, I will just send you this. We went way too long on Jersey Talk. Let's get to the Magic before this episode goes 30 hours long.
All right, on to the Orlando Magic. Looking at them. So they, last season, won 34 games. They're 34-48. My prediction for them was 29 wins is my reasonable prediction. Ceiling was 37, floor was 17, so they're towards the higher end. Came out with a nice young core, nice young group with Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, a slew of guards there. I feel like they have a lot of good guys in the backcourt, potentially with Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, and Jalen Suggs. And then they also have Gary Harris still on this team. Jonathan Isaac is also still on this team. Wendell Carter Jr., who I should have mentioned before with the young core. Mo Wagner coming off the bench as well. Chumo Akiki is still on this team, another young guy that's struggled with injuries. Jet Howard was a pick in this year's draft. Goga Patadze is on this roster. Caleb Houston, I believe, is he a rookie this year?
Yeah, no.
No, he was in the 2022 draft. So he was a rookie last year, yeah. But he's still here, obviously. Joe Ingles is just a guy that does not fit with the rest of the names on this roster.
Doesn't make sense.
But he is here. Paid him a lot of money to come here. So, yeah, it's a nice young – Anthony Black, I didn't even mention, was their 6th pick in the draft this year. So it's a nice young team for sure. A lot of young potential.
A lot of point guards. They just collect them like they're Pokemon, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
This year's draft, it was like a value thing because I feel like.
Are you hearing about Anthony Black now?
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like a wing point. He's like a wing with point guard skills. He's big. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely going to probably be playing like the 2 to 3 position, like matchup wise, who he guards on the other team. So it makes sense from that standpoint. But yeah, they do have a lot of guys that can play the point guard position, I guess, which is nice. Like when you're looking at like a team like the Celtics, who have that's been what they're missing. A team like the Magic are definitely not lacking in that skill set. And I mean, even like Paolo to a certain extent, and especially Franz, like as they're 2 of the biggest guys on the court, both also are pretty like skilled with the ball, pretty good passers, so they have some point guard skills. So yeah, I'm liking this team. It's pretty funky. It feels kind of like the Thunder of the East to me, just like a year or 2 behind where the Thunder are at.
That is on the second you said, I was like, wait, and then you added the year or 2 behind. And I'm like, That is it. They are. I don't know if they have a Shea, obviously not in position. They don't. It'd be Paolo if it's anybody that will that has that top 10 in the league potential
for sure.
But I think like a 2 years out, Thunder is a great equivalent of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels very correct, and I also think that it will translate to watchability for me because I've enjoyed watching the Thunder for like a couple of years.
The Magic,
both I guess, but more on the Thunder.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that like they were fun to watch for a couple of years in the Magic. Last year was enjoyable. But like this year will be like I will actively be like, let me check when the Magic are playing this week and like try to make it work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, for
more
sure.
than last year was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though last year they had some fun stuff going on with Bol and Mo Bamba, but this year I think they're still going to have a lot of fun things about their team. They're definitely going to be my highest in terms of watchability for this division. But their over-under line, I don't know if I've said that yet, is 36.5. So they have to win 37 to go over. And I feel like it's a really good line. It's a hard one.
My mind's telling me no, and my body's telling me yes, so I'm going to stay away.
You need your stay away here. Okay.
Because I really want to go over, but I think it's because my heart's in it, and I want them to be good. I want them to be the shocking, like, that team won 41 games this year? Mm-hmm. Like, I want that to be the case. Yeah. I just don't know. So I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, it makes sense. So for me, I am going to I would have to use my stay away here because I don't want to use it on the Wizards, but I'm going to actually put my stay away retroactively on the Charlotte Hornets because I didn't feel great about doing the over there. So I'm instead going to do the over on the Magic and give my stay away to the Hornets. I think is the right move to make there. I'm feeling good about that. I think that I don't feel awesome that the Magic will for sure get 37 wins. It's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. But I definitely see that reality or that potential outcome for sure is in the cards.
In the same way that Miami gets to play a lot of the teams in the Southeast, so does the Magic.
Exactly. Yep. And last season, they beat a lot of really good teams even. They beat the Celtics on back-to-back 2 games in a row.
That was so wild.
Yeah, they beat the Nuggets towards the end of the season.
They beat the six. They beat everyone that was good.
Mm-hmm.
They just were like, we'll get one game. Celtics, they beat them twice. That blew my mind. Back-to-back days. I was like, what the heck?
Both of them were super close too. Like they were like super disappointing.
I think one of them went to overtime.
Yeah. And I remember one of them was Grant Williams made like a turnover on the inbounds pass in the like final possession of the game. But
Grant Williams and overtimes games or just close games do not go together well.
Yeah.
Like the infamous, I'm gonna make them both.
Yeah.
To the Cavs.
I'm sure you won't miss those moments, but
I'll just miss
the entertainment factor.
I'm Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. So Magic, though, looking at their watchability, I'm gonna give them a 7-8.
Wow. I had a 7-7 is where I felt the Magic were at.
All right.
They're fun. I think they're going to be fun to watch. Definitely, I will there'll be weeks where I'll be like, Boston has a light week. They're only playing a game or two games, whatever. What other teams can I look through? And the Magic will definitely be on the list of things to look for.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. That being said, let's get to the jerseys.
And so 7-7 is yours?
7.7 is mine.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of abandoned the every Joe score, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Magic jerseys. Okay, I mentioned it on a previous episode when we were talking about the Wolves jerseys, because there's a reason why that Wolves jersey is like one of my favorites ever, and it's because the shade of blue is the same.
Magic blue.
Well, not just any Magic blue, but the
Magic pinstripe blue.
The new one.
Oh, you like the new one?
Like not new, but 2020 last year's new. So
no,
City Edition, the one where if you look up Magic jerseys, the top row has Paolo doing this, like looking down, wearing that jersey. That blue is like my favorite shade. That might be my favorite color. Just that. It's just like pops to me. I don't know why, but I wish like the Nuggets, Mile High City jerseys, they kind of are similar to that.
And you love those also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I wish they would lean even more towards that, like more vibrant is what I would describe it as.
Mine's the Baby Shack pinstripe blues.
The pinstripe blues. Okay. I like the black ones of the Shaq era, black pinstripes.
Honestly, is that their best jersey era? Was the Shaq era? The 90s?
I think as we just got done talking about with the Hornets, I would rank the Magic even higher in this as an all-time jersey franchise. I think Magic are a great candidate for being number one, even though like they don't have a super long history, so they don't have like a ton to choose from.
But
like,
no, then they have bad ones. They have such bad. They have the orange Orlandos, though that cannot be forgiven.
The black. They're black ones though, right? They're black with like oranges, like the accent.
No, like where like ORL is orange. It's when Aaron Gordon was there.
Oh, I think I remember the ones you're talking about. I'm seeing a different one in front of me right now that's black with orange. But I think I know which one you're talking about too. I don't love that. But I guess I can forgive those ones because I don't see them very often. But like they're just in terms of like their jerseys in general. Like if you just like hit shuffle on all of the Magic jerseys, you're like the one that you pick is bound to be like a really solid jersey. You know what I mean?
Their first City Edition jerseys, ugly as hell.
2020 or 2018?
2018. Oofda.
2018 City
Oofda.
jerseys.
Oof.
The stars?
That is an atrocity.
Oh, I don't hate that one.
As a jersey?
What do you mean as a jersey? As opposed to what?
Just like a poster.
Oh,
as a jersey, I don't like that as a jersey. Real photos of things should not be on jerseys.
Real photos of things should not be on jerseys.
You shouldn't have like a photo of the night sky and then slap it on a jersey.
I guess I don't even like kind of think of that as a picture. I think of it more as just like a texture or a background type of thing, a pattern. But I see what you mean. It's like
Oh, and this year apparently they are bringing back the stars. Let's go.
Like the stars around the ball.
No. The stars, like how they had the pinstripe is also in the I think the Shaq era where it's like the blue stars.
Yeah,
just different shades of blue.
Yeah,
in rows, I guess.
So the for the O in Magic or the A in Magic and the A in Orlando is the star. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like the one that I like, the whole jersey's of stars.
Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. The pattern.
That's their classic jersey that they're doing this year.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see that too. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Well,
I will never forgive the ORL, but I agree that they're a pretty elite franchise for jerseys.
Yeah, you'll never forgive the ORL as an abbreviation. Just the orange ones. Okay.
Just the orange look just hurts.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah,
and they kept going back to the orange. Well, you have one of the greatest colors of blue. Don't touch the color orange.
Did they do more than 2 jerseys?
They did 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, I see that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
But with that being said, do we just want to rip off the Band-Aid and just do the ugly? Just get it done. This is gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
Hot, fast, quick.
Yep. We got the Washington Wizards to finish this baby out. So last year they won 35 games. They were 35-47. My prediction for them, I had 44 as their ceiling, 26 as the floor, 33 as the reasonable prediction. So it was pretty spot on. This year, their over-under is 24.5 wins, which I think is honestly high. 24.5, so they have to win 25 to hit the over. I don't see this Wizards team. I don't feel great about them hitting 25 games at all.
But then you say that, but then you're like, could they like sneaky get there?
I feel like there would be a lot of things would need to happen. Like, just players on their team would all have to take steps up, which I'm not saying couldn't happen, but a lot of the other teams in the East would have to be struggling with injuries or dropping a lot of games they shouldn't.
I'm going under regardless, but I'm just like, is there a sneaky world where we're sweating this at the end of the year?
Yeah, I feel better about putting my lock on the Miami Heat under, but I don't want to do the same one as you. So I'm just going to do my lock on the under for the Wizards.
Well, this is all like we've done enough things different that if that's what you feel, then that's what you feel. The heart wants what the heart wants, you know?
Yeah. I still feel I'm going to lock the under on the Wizards. I'm just going to stick to my guns.
See, and then we're just going to see like Jordan Poole turn into Luka and just be like this insane offensive engine. Even more so, like people will know that he'll get like 25 points a game, but it's going to be because his team's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at the roster, there's a lot more names on here that I like than I thought previously, just thinking about it. But
there's a sneaky world where they get really close to 25.
Yeah, definitely could. Especially if Corey Kispert develops like a big part of it is whether or not these young guys develop well, like Denny Avdia, Corey Kispert, even Kyle Kuzma, Tyus Jones, Daniel Gafford, Leonard Shaman is on this team. Danilo Gallinari is also on this team. Dolan Wright, Johnny Davis, if he's turns into not a complete zero like he was in his rookie season, then they got another rookie this year in Bilal Koulibaly, who they got in the lottery out of France. They have Mike Muscala on this roster. They got Patrick Baldwin Jr. apparently from the Warriors. I kind of forgot he was part of that deal with Poole. But they got him as well. Young, big.
He won't be good, but there's
Taj Gibson is apparently still on his roster.
Which I don't know if I've seen Taj Gibson. I feel like it's been years. Like it hasn't been like, I just didn't see him last year. Like it's been a while since I've actually seen him on a basketball court.
I watched him play last year for sure because I remember the game that Jokic, one of his just craziest games last year was I want to say he had like 43, 27, and 10. He had 16 rebounds to like 3 or 4 minutes into the second quarter. But I'm pretty sure he was 17 of 20 from the field, and two of those misses were half-court heaves, and the other one was a blocked shot that he got right back and put back in. Those were his 3 missed shots. But Taj Gibson was him and Daniel Gafford were the guys defending Jokic that game. So,
oh jeez,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, my fantasy team is popping the F off.
Oh really?
We're cooking. We're gonna hit 200 points in my fantasy league, regular scoring.
Oh geez, nice.
Anthony Richardson, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews. The Jacksonville defense gave me 21 points. I got the Rams running backs at 25. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you should be. I haven't looked at mine yet since the games have started, but hopefully I'm doing okay. I'm in an 8-way tie for first place in a 12-man league.
Oh wow!
Because everybody's 2-1.
Justin Fields is having a game of his life. So
oh really?
I'm glad that Deshaun Watson did not play, so we could make the proper decision.
Yeah,
it was very easy.
I was already putting Fields in. That's what. But yeah,
he had 3 passing touchdowns last I looked.
Yeah, makes sense against the Denver defense. Sadly, but yeah. Anyways, Washington Wizards
30 points, 4 total touchdowns,
30 fantasy points
in my league. I don't know if yours is scored different, but
yeah, no, that's a lot. Feeling good about that. But Wizards though, the watchability score, I'm going to give them a 2.1.
I will watch one Wizards game, a single one, and I will give them a 1 for that.
All right. Sounds good. So they're the equivalent of the Charlotte Bobcats. Yeah, Charlotte Bobcats, 7-win Bobcats, 2012. Want to say?
Yeah.
They're on par with that.
I don't want to watch that.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that out of the way, jerseys. I mean, Wizards don't have great jerseys. They're okay. Nothing too crazy. I like probably my favorite ones are some of the early 2000s era jerseys. Like the ones they have right now as retro alternates are good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the pink ones, honestly. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I just...
Oh, it's the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. So that's not even that great of a reason. But
no, they're like everywhere.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't love the way they look. They're okay. I would like them better if they did that with the gradient thing on the shorts, but just with the red jerseys, their normal red Washington. I would dig that. But the pink is just like okay. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't love
I guess the white, the districts. No, maybe it's the white D. It just said DC on it. And it was white,
with
like
the hand
D.
with the ball.
Yeah.
I like the gray ones of that one too. Those ones are okay.
The district jerseys were okay.
Mm-hmm.
They did a white and a black of that, or gray and a black, whatever it is, or gray and a white, whatever it is.
They have a black one for sure. Oh
yeah.
So, no, it's not black, but it's like
this is not a great wash. This is not blue. A great jersey franchise.
It is not. But those are some of our favorites, though. I guess I don't think they even had great jerseys when they were the Bullets either.
Well, they didn't have very much variety. They just had like 3 jerseys in their entire history as the Bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't have a lot. So,
when they were orange in the Baltimore Bullets, though, different story.
Yeah. Those are our Wizards jerseys, I guess. So that should do it for this episode. As a quick recap, the Hawks over under 41.5. We both went under. Charlotte was over under 30.5. I used my stay away. Jacob went under. The Miami Heat 46.5. I went under. Jacob locked his under. The Orlando Magic 36.5. I went over. Jacob went stay away. Washington Wizards 24.5. I locked my under, and Jacob just went under. So that does it for the Southeast Division. The only one now left is the Southwest, which is the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Alphabetically, this was not super great because there's some promising, great parts of the Southwest, but definitely two divisions where there's some teams where like I just don't really want to talk about them that much.
Yeah, Southwest is like middle of the road. Yeah,
I think just because they have such high highs,
mm-hmm.
their lows are just kind of like Anyway, with that being said, anything else? I think people should probably honestly go down to the description, take a look at patreon.com/hoop theory, as well as buy Logan a coffee at Buy Me a Coffee. You can find that in the description. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Spotify, give us 5 stars. It does help. It finally shows up now, as we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
We will wrap things up in the next episode. And does that mean our first episode of the next season could potentially be episode 60?
Episode 60. Yeah, I guess it would be after
pretty
season
close
starts. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that would be a nice round number to start it off on. But
get things cooking and rolling.
Yeah.
Anything else that you would like to add, Logan, outside of that diatribe? I should look up what that word means. I think it means like a long-winded thing. Diatribe.
Oh, does it?
I think.
Diatribe? Maybe. Yeah, it probably does, actually. For some reason, I was thinking it had something to do with...
No. It is not. It means a forceful and bitter verbal attack against someone or something.
Oh, geez. That's not what I was thinking either.
I thought it meant a long-winded thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else that you would like to add?
I would just like to add that everybody out there should stay happy and stay healthy. And we will talk to you guys in the next episode.
Peace!